What's going on out there, family? How is everyone on today? I hope you have had a fantastic Monday on today. Had a little delayed start, had to get some screens squared away, but I'm glad we was able to finally get on here. I want to say welcome to tonight's show, and appreciate those that are able to join on tonight. And of course, this is the show where we empower creators and help them to know that you can build and create at any time. Before I get started, I want to make sure that I am being heard and I'm seen. If you can hear me okay, just put in the comments that you can hear me, you can see me, one or two. Let me know in the comments that you can hear me. I'm looking at YouTube now. It looks like I'm being seen, but I want to make sure I'm being heard. So if you're watching, let me know that you can hear me. There's Miss Florence. How you doing there, Miss Florence? Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you on tonight. I'm going to try not to be on here too long. I'm going to try to cut this to, I'm going to try to keep this short and simple. 30 minutes. I know we say that all the time, the live streams, but sometimes it gets crazy. Appreciate you being here, Miss Florence. Congratulations on reaching that 500. That is no small feat. 100 ain't a small feat. You can hear me. All right, wonderful. Wonderful. Shay Coleman, appreciate you being here on tonight. All right. Thank y'all for being here. Miss Florence, thank you for being here on tonight. Thank you so much. Shay Coleman, you can hear me and you can see me. That is wonderful. Heard and seen. Seen and heard. Wonderful. Thank y'all for being here on tonight. All right, so on tonight, we're going to be talking about what we leaving in 2025 and what we're taking into 2026. So just off that thought, think about it. What are you leaving? What are you putting? What are you taking into 2026? So just harbor that thought, and I want to first jump to our sponsor on tonight, and that is Levette Candle. Levette Candle, and Levette Candle. If you can see that picture, of course, that's LevetteCandle.com. But they're going to be having a sale, an end of the year sale, pretty soon. And that on that picture there, that is Squeezy Wax. Actually, this is it right here. You can see it. I don't know if my camera can get that. Yeah, that's it. So this is Squeezy Wax, and what you do is you put it in a what's it called? I'm trying to the thought leaves my mind. You put it on where you put your wax melts. Tasha, if you're watching, what's it called? What's it called? It's the burner. I'm trying to think of the name of it. But you put this wax, put it on there, and it melts. It's just like a wax melt, but you can squeeze it out of the bottle. But you put it on there. It's actually pretty neat, and obviously it's less messy. But you would put it on the burner, and of course works just like a wax melt, and the aroma once it melts just goes off to the room. But this is pretty good. It smells pretty good. Actually, they have some amazing products. I have some more here. This is Scented Rocks, and I have some of these actually in my office too that I use, but they smell good. But they're going to be having an end of the year sale coming soon, so you may want to follow them if you love candles. If candles is your thing, she hand makes them. I'm a little biased because this is my wife. This is her business. But she hand makes these candles. Y'all, they smell good. They smell amazing. But be looking out for those. And you can follow Levette Candle. They're on Facebook and Instagram. Of course, there's the website. But you can follow and be looking out. Wax warmer. That's it. Thank you for coming in here and telling me. Wax warmer. Put in wax. I wish I had one up here. Maybe she can bring me one. Maybe she can bring me a wax warmer. Some of you probably already have those in your home, but anyway. But they're gonna be having an end of the year sale coming soon, so I'm certain I'll be helping her with that. But amazing products. She hand makes these candles and these products. They smell good. They smell amazing. Of course, there's the website. She can ship all over the U.S. Of course, and those local, of course, can purchase as well. So that is Levette Candle. All right. Now, this is our topic on tonight. Before we get into that, let me just jump into the comments here. Levette Candles here, of course. Oh, she put it in the chat while I was running my mouth. It's called a wax warmer. There it is right there. Thank you. She came and told me, and she put it in the comments. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. All right. So this is things we're leaving behind in 2025. And things we're taking into 2026. So what are some things that y'all are leaving in 2025? I know we at the end of the year, I know we say, we come to this conclusion of the year every year, right? And there are things that we want to do, but this time of year should be a reflective time where we do reflect and figure out some things, what worked as they do on the job in their stand-ups. I forget the meeting, but it's like what went well, what didn't go well, what can we do to improve, right? Just thinking about that, what are some things that you want to leave behind in 2025? As you think about that, I want to show, here's the wax warmer right here. This is what it looks like. And, you just put your melt on here and your burner on the inside, of course, and light it up, and it emits a nice smelling fragrance. So that's what it looks like, though. That's the wax warmer. But also, she'll have those, too, for sale. If you don't have those, she'll have those for sale as well. All right. Things we're leaving in 2025. Anybody? What are some things that I have a few thoughts here that I want to leave that I'm going to put up on the screen. But anybody that's watching, what are some things that you want to leave in 2025? What are some of those things? And also, if you're watching, if you haven't already, if you haven't liked the video, be sure to like this video. And it does help the channel, help us to grow. And also, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe to the channel. Helps us out as well, helps others discover this channel. All right, so we're going to jump into this. Some things that we want to leave in 2025. And like I said, you can go ahead and put those in the comments section, what you want to leave in 2025. So I'm just going to run through a few things here. You can agree, you can disagree, and you can also, like I said, put your own in the chat of things. All right, here's the first one I got. Waiting until things are perfect. And I'm going to go ahead and let you know, if you are waiting for things to get perfect, you're going to be waiting a long time if that's what you're waiting on. I know sometimes we try to wait and try to figure out, I don't know if I should share that yet, or I don't know if I should start it yet. And I say all the time, if you don't, somebody else will. So, not saying you don't have a plan, but you do want to, after doing some research and planning, they say go for it, right? Because sometimes just waiting for that perfect time, the perfect time is not going to come, because a lot of times overthinking kind of takes over, and you'll think that I need to do this, I need to do that, and you'll be waiting. So that's one of the things that we need to leave in 2025. One of the things we need to leave in 2025. Tasha says, that is my problem. Yeah, I know. I deal with that too, where it's like I'm trying to wait for that perfect moment. And that perfect moment is not coming. It's not. Waiting for that perfect moment is not coming. So that's one of the things we need to leave in 2025. Perfectionism, it stalled a lot of us, a lot of creators, and a lot of us are very talented, right? But we do a lot of overthinking, I know for myself, a video that is only 30 seconds. Sometimes I done spent over 30 minutes trying to edit it, trying to get it perfect. And it's like, look, just put it out there. Just post it. Don't even put no music. Don't even put no titles. Just put it out there. Because a lot of times those things, it slow you down. It slow you down, right? It slows you down. Shay Coleman says self-doubt and procrastination. Yes, that for sure. That for sure, Shay. Self-doubt. We doubt ourselves, but I know we're talented. I know we are. I've seen our talents. Procrastination gets us too. Procrastination gets us too. And one thing we need to do is less, what's the word they use? Less like viewing and more posting. Like, we do a lot of, or we can do a lot of, watching others, right? When we should be using that time to create our own content. So this is one that definitely, waiting for that perfect time. It's not coming. So I said, yes, I need to leave that in 2025 as well. Right there with you. Yes. But yes, it delays, and of course, we want to launch stuff, and it just sets us back. The thoughts of I'm not ready yet, those type of things. When you think about it, no, anytime you do something, we're never ready. But it's like after watching so many tutorials, we go to YouTube, watch all these tutorials and all of that, and and these a lot of times these creators, they give us the perfect plan, and we say, okay, I'm gonna do it, and then we sit on it. We sit on it. Let's see what Miss Florence says. I've learned early in my career that version 1 is better. Ooh, I love that. I got to use that. Version 1 is better than version none. Okay, I got to use that. Version 1 is better than version none. Amen to that. Just like I said, hey, if you put it out there, then you put it out there. It's better than none. So that's the thing that we got to do, right? We got to try to just put it out there and stop trying to be perfect. Stop trying to make it perfect. Not saying you can't perfect your craft, but that waiting game, it gets us. Yes, that is. Latasha, amens that. That is good. That is good, Miss Florence. That is good. All right, the next one I'm going to put up here on the screen. Creating without a clear why. Why are you doing what you do? What is your message? What is your mission? What is your purpose? What is your direction? But not having those things means we just kind of put, just as they say, throwing darts in the dark. And we need to really hone in on our message, our mission, the direction that we want to go, so that we're not just posting things, but we got a true purpose behind it. We're trying to figure out, and I think I have that on one of these slides, but trying to figure out and make sure we are trying to reach our target audience, because those are the people that's going to be, those are the ones that's going to respond to the content that we put out there, the products that we put out there, those that we are reaching, and our target audience. Those are going to be the people that respond. A lot of times we post, sometimes we got maybe hundreds of followers, right? And you don't have to have a whole lot of followers. You can make a great impact even with small followers. But many of those are maybe family and friends. So those people, they may not be the ones that's going to respond that, type of response that you want. So we got to figure out, our message, or make sure we have a message, make sure we got a mission, and make sure we are posting with direction, because we don't just want to just be throwing things out there in the wind. Let's see what Tasha says. Tasha says, sometimes I can talk myself out of things and end up doing nothing. I'm right there with you. We can. The mind is a powerful thing, and a lot of times we talk ourselves out. We we get a game plan, we get geared up, we get motivated, and then we get right to the door. And like Tasha is saying, because I've been there, we talk ourselves out of it. And we end up doing nothing for fear, right? So we're right there with it. But that's why we're here. That's why we're having this conversation, because those are things we're going to leave in 2025. We're going to forget about those type of things. Got to forget about it. Let's see what Miss Florence says. She says, if you don't put it out, you have nothing to work on to perfect. Once you put something out in the world, then you can see where to tweak it and where to make it better. Yes. Amen, Florence. Amen. That is so true. And that's kind of what we're talking about, right? Just put it out there. And again, you don't have to just throw anything out there. But like Florence said, version 1 is better than version none. And I'll be honest, and I'm sure a lot of you can attest, when you start putting content out there, some of those very first videos, some of those very first posts, they're going to be, as I've heard somebody say, they're going to be cringe, right? You're going to be like, what was I thinking about? I don't like myself. I mean, that's just a part of it. But you grow from there, right? You grow from there. And everybody has that where it's like, it's cringe. But when it starts to come together, you're going to look back and say, man, it was all worth it. It was all worth it. But yes, I totally agree. If you put it out there, you got something you can tweak and work with. So, but this is something we got to leave behind, posting without that why, without a mission, we got to leave that behind. All right, let's get to the next one. Uh-oh, hang on. There we go. Wait a minute. Showed that one. Creating without a clear why. Okay, this is the one I want to share. Here we go. Inconsistent and not showing up. I'm guilty of this. I'm right there. I'm guilty of it. Florence on the last one, she says, oh boy, are they ever cringe? I go back and look at my first live streams and I just want to fall. I just want to fall through the floor. Yes, I know. I'm right there with you. Look at some of your first lives. I go back and listen to some of my first podcasts I did. And for me, I wanted to, when I first started this, I just wanted to do audio. I didn't want to do live streams. I didn't want to do video. I just said, hey, I'm just going to do audio, radio style, where I just put the, you hear my voice and I put it out there. And lo and behold, when you start doing one thing, one thing leads to another. And I look back at it and it's like, oh man, it's cringe. But it helps you. It does help you to grow because, like Florence says, you can start to tweak things. Also, I think we can be too judgmental of ourselves, right? We are worst critics. We don't sound as bad as we think we do. We don't look as bad as we think we do. So we just got to get over those type of things, right? But it does happen. But our third one is inconsistent and not showing up. I'm guilty of that. I've been very inconsistent here at this last quarter of the year. I've been trying to be more consistent, trying to create content. Like instead of just creating something for one day, I'm trying to create more that I can just spread out over, create all that I want to create and then spread it out. Right. So that's something that I'm trying to do to beat inconsistency. Florence, maybe you can help us with the inconsistency. Tell us what you do to try to show up. Hey there, Miss Fanny is here. Appreciate you being here, Fanny. That's the notary extraordinaire right there. Fanny's notary. All right. Appreciate you being here, ma'am. Good evening to you, Mr. Michael Flemings. Thank you for being here, sir. Appreciate you being here. But number 3 is what we're talking about. Number 3. Okay. Inconsistent and not showing up. Okay. And we're talking about what we're leaving behind in 2025 and what we're going to take into 2026. If you're just joining, be sure you like the video. Also, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe to the channel. So we're at number 3 here, inconsistent and not showing up. Maybe somebody can share in the comments, like what's helping you to be more consistent and helping you to show up, because it does have benefits. It does have benefits to it. Whether it's even if you have a small audience, right? Trust is built through reliability, right? People don't know when you show up, when you're inconsistent. Again, I'm guilty of it. I've been guilty of it. I'm trying to be more consistent. They stop expecting your content, and your message, it loses momentum. Sometimes the algorithm can get reset when you're inconsistent. So there are benefits to it, because these social media platforms, the more you engage, the more they start to reward you, the more the algorithm starts to see that, oh, okay, hey, they're putting content out here, and they start to kind of push your content out there. Every platform is different. So, I'm not the expert in knowing what all the algorithms do, but I do know the more consistent you are, of course, like I stated, for our second one, creating with a why and a purpose, you're not just throwing stuff in the wind. That's going to also help your algorithm, right? So, but being inconsistent, like I said, if you got some tips for that, throw it in the chat. Fanny says she's guilty of it too. Yes, I know a lot of us is guilty of it. Let's see what Florence says. Shorts have been so good this quarter as you've been dropping them. I need to learn how to do that because I haven't learned it yet. Yeah, shorts, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say this. If you don't have a YouTube channel, I'm going to tell you, you need to get a YouTube channel. Instagram is great. Facebook is great. But I'm going to tell you, YouTube is where it's at when it comes to video. I'm not the super supreme expert. I'm just telling you what I know. YouTube is the way to go. But shorts, yes, shorts are beneficial, and the shorts, of course, on YouTube. I know at one point they had it for just 1 minute or less. I think they bumped that up to 3 minutes. I could be wrong. Somebody can correct me if they know, but I think they bumped that up to 3 minutes that you can make a short. But the shorts, of course, they're in the mobile format, right? They're in the mobile format. It's not the long format. It's in the mobile format. But shorts, man, I'll tell you, you can put a short out there. I put one out there not too long ago, and like it started out, it just got like maybe 100 views. And then I just, left it out there, and then maybe a couple of days later, it got up over 1,500 views. And I was like, wow. And this short, I'm telling you, listen, this short, it was just me. I recorded myself from my waist down. All you could see was my feet, and I was walking in this video. And in the video, though, I got the caption, "Walking into Success." Another successful week, step into another week of success. That's all I did in this video. And I put some little music to it, and it got over 1,500 views. So I'm telling you, I know we say, oh man, what can I post? I don't know what to post, but this is how you can be more consistent, I think I put another video out there, stop, don't try to worry about trying to do like a very long video, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, a short can be 15 seconds. It's just you just saying, hey, I don't know, I got ice cream today. You'd be surprised. Somebody will be like, oh man, that ice cream looks good, but you can get so many views from it. So a lot of times, we overthink, right? So it can be something as simple as that, though, that can just go, and just catch wind, and before you know it, you got so many views on it. So, but inconsistent and not showing up, right? There's ways to do it. And a lot of times, some people want to see, I know a lot of times, we want to put out what we do, but sometimes people want to see you, like what you do, like sometimes that behind the scenes stuff that you do, right? I know for my wife, sometimes she's been working on trying to share more behind the scenes of her making candles and things like that. So a lot of times people want to see that, right? So those things work too, where you're not even showing your face. It's just her working, and you just see her hand and putting candles together. So that works, right? So you just got to figure out how to do it, right? Find that balance. So, but being inconsistent and not showing up, that's what we're leaving in 2025. All right? That's what we're leaving. Let's see what the people are saying. Tasha says, leaving the old mindset. Yes, ma'am. In 2025. Fanny says, every post helps. I certainly agree to that. Okay. And Ms. Florence confirms that YouTube, the shorts is up to 3 minutes now. So you got 3 minutes to work with that. But I'll say this, that of course, everybody knows this, that people have short attention spans, right? So sometimes shorter may get a greater impact. Not all the time, but sometimes the shorter ones get a greater impact. So you got to kind of tweak it. As Florence said, put it out there, then you tweak it. Okay. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Didn't think of that. Right. Okay. Yes, that's right. So yes, I know a lot of times we overthink, but we can do this, right? Yes. I knew those were her friend. Oh, she's talking about the candles. Yes, ma'am. She be busy. She is definitely busy with the candles. All right, let's get to the fourth one. Here we go. We talked about this one. Overthinking, engagement, numbers. Overthinking, engagement. Now, overthinking is a problem all in itself. Okay, but I'm gonna say this: overthinking, engagement numbers. Like you put a video out there, and you only got 2 views. And a lot of times that could be very discouraging, right? I know that feeling. It's like, man, I put my heart and soul into this video. I only got 2 views. Oh my goodness, what do I do? All you can do is go look at the algorithm. But you know what? You can't obsess over it, even if you just get, a small amount of views. Remember, consistency matters, right? Also, trying to figure out what worked with this video. I know with YouTube, you can go back and look at the algorithm. You can see, okay, people were watching in the first 5 seconds, but after the 5 seconds, they dropped. So you can look at that and see where it dropped in the video and just try to make those tweaks, right? So sometimes you got to go back and look at the algorithm. But at the same time, don't obsess over the fact that, you only got minimal views, right? Don't worry about it. Just create another video and put another one out there, because what we want to do is be more consistent, because the more you put it out there, the more people are going to find you, right? And the more the algorithm is going to start to reward you. So don't get obsessed over the fact that even if you got low views, even if you got a small community, even if you don't have a whole lot of followers, right? You can still do plenty of work with small followers. Okay. All it takes is one person to make that impact, and then everything can change for you. Okay. So leave behind validation through metrics, right? Don't just look at metrics alone. Just like, don't just look at the algorithms like, man, I only got a certain amount of views, right? And I think I read where like it's only so many people that's going to see your post. Like you can say, I got 200 followers on my Facebook page. Well, it's only a select few of those that's going to see that post. Every 200 followers you have, they're not going to see it, right? The key is learning the algorithm and just to consistently put it out there. Version 1, like Miss Florence says, version 1 is better than version 9. But don't allow validation through metrics alone. Focus on trying to be meaningful, right? Focus on the mission, your purpose, your values, and your target audience. Who are you talking to, right? The purpose behind your content. That's what you focus on. And, you'll see that things will start to grow, right? So look at it like that. All right, let's see what we got in the comments here. Okay, Tasha was laughing. I guess she was laughing at the comment about the fingers. Florence, yes, exactly. Keep your purpose in mind. That's it. The purpose. Why you do what you do. The why. Touching one person positively makes a difference. Makes a difference. One person positively makes a difference. And then Fanny says, all of that is true. All of that is true. See what else Fanny says. Say, I find myself asking people to share. Also, sometimes they do, but I got to keep pushing. That's it. And again, everybody's not going to share it. That's something we got to understand. Everybody's not going to share it. But remember the purpose behind what you're doing. Who is the community that you are serving? That's what you think about. Again, a lot of times our family and friends, they follow us, right? They may be some of the people that are part of our community, but a lot of times they won't be the ones that need our services. So just keep focusing on that target audience and your purpose and your mission. And after a while, things are going to start to click. It's going to start to come together. And that's it. That's right, Fanny. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. All right. Let's get to the next one. All right. I believe this is the last one. Here we go. How many deal with this one? Fear of being seen. I don't want to be seen. I don't want to do the video. I know sometimes that could be hard. I got to record this video. How do I do that? Like one gentleman I follow say, just think about one line or two lines. Again, remember, people's attention spans is short. So how can you make an impact by sharing one line? I know too, there's a lot of creators that I've seen, a lot of videos I've seen where they try to get you to focus on like your hook. Like that first 3 seconds, you got to have a hook in there, right? That's going to reel them in to keep them watching. Because remember, like I said, people's attention span, if they don't hear something that clicks or registers with them, you know, they're not going to watch. So that's something else we got to focus on. That's another topic for another day, the hook, right? Trying to get that hook. But one line. Don't think I got to go a whole minute. Think about one line. Remember, that could be 15 seconds. That could be 10 seconds, right? One line. But fear of being seen, I know that's a big one because we don't want to be judged, right? What is people going to say when they see me putting out this content about notaries? What are they going to think when I'm trying to promote this sale for these candles? Here's what I say to that. Who cares? Because this is your business. This is your services. Remember, you are focused on those that enjoy candles, that understand the purpose that a candle can change the whole atmosphere of a room. That's who we focused on, right? Those who need notary services. That's who we focused on. Yeah. We ain't worried about those that's going to judge us, right? Because you don't care. But we got to get over this fear. This is the mindset. 2025, that's what we got to throw to the side, right? Fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of being too much. What about that? Fear of being too much. Playing small to stay comfortable. Yes. Tasha says, that's me all the time. That's me all the time. Yes, I know. Even doing lives, I'll be honest. It's not easy, right? It's like that when the live button goes live, it's like I got to think, okay, how am I gonna this intro? Because that's like the most nervous part. Once I get to talking, I'm okay, but it's like that first intro part. Like, okay, how am I gonna approach this intro and not seem nervous and just go with it? And like tonight, I didn't even do a countdown. I was watching one of the other creators I watched, Kirk Nugent, and he was stating that he doesn't do countdowns anymore. He stopped doing the countdowns. He just goes live, and I'm like, hey, you know what? That's a good idea, because it's like I'm just gonna hit the live button. Just be ready, right? And you just start talking. So that's what I did tonight. But I know being on camera, right? That is one of the biggies. Fear of being seen. So we got to put ourselves out there, though. That's how the people gonna find us. But it can be put into different types of content, right? It could be a post, a picture. It could be, it could be words. Maybe it could be a quote for the day. Scripture, right? It could be a scripture, and then it could be a video. So you can change it up, right? Don't always have to be a video, but we got to get comfortable with being seen. All right. Fanny says, yep, I can't be in the corner. I got to come out of the recluse. Yes, the recluse behavior. Yes. Hey, that's what, Tasha's, that's what her live was, coming out of my comfort zone. That's what we talked about in hers. So right there with you, we got to come out of our comfort zones and be comfortable with being seen, because this is the day we in. And Florence says, yes, he doesn't do the countdowns anymore either. Yes. Florence, I got to get you on here so you can talk about your stuff. And actually, Florence, you know what? Put your channel in the chat. so that they can also check you out because you have some great content. I mean, she has amazing content about being more efficient, more productive. She talks about this every Friday. She goes live at 5. It's 5:30 our time, Central Time. But she has amazing content. So she's a great creator to follow as well. She is amazing. So check her out. Let's see what she says. She said, "We're seen every day when we walk." Yes, we're seen every day we walk out the door. I know it's something about when that camera go on. It's something different. But yes, everybody sees us every day. We talk every day. I know we're professional. Man, we are some of the most professional people. You know, I be trying to tell my wife, right? She's a realtor, right? She's been in mortgage and real estate for a long time, and she knows this stuff like the back of her hand. And how she explains stuff to people, it's like amazing. And I try to tell her, like, you have so much information that you can share with people. But I know a lot of times with her, right, even with me, a lot of times just getting on screen, it is a challenge. It is a challenge. But I mean, she has a plethora of information. And I know, like many of you out there, y'all are talented, you are creative, and that's what we got to get out to share with the world, because there is a group of people, there is some listeners, your voice, these people are waiting to like hear from you. So that's what we got to put in 2026, right? Our voice, our message, so that they will come to us, okay? Or they will come to you, right? So we got to stop minimizing ourselves and stop thinking that, we're not able to do this. We are, right? But again, 2025, these are the things that we're leaving behind. All right, so let's talk about the things. Let's get these off the screen. Now, let's see what we're taking into 2026. What are some things we want to take into 2026? Y'all can start. Put them in the comments now. You may already know what you want to take into 2026. I guess you could say it's the opposite of what we already talked about. Exactly. We want to take into 2026. All right. So let's jump into this, right? Build around identity, not just content. Remember, you got a whole identity that you are creating around. Your values, your story. All of us got different stories. That needs to be shared, right? Your story. People love to hear stories. As a matter of fact, how did you come up with this name, Levette Candle, right? How did you become a notary? It's somebody out there that don't know how. They want to be a notary. They don't know how. They need to know the story. They need to know the struggles, right? They need to hear some of the setbacks. They need to hear those type of things because they can relate to that. And that's what causes people to like respond, because it's like, man, you know what? She said she struggled with that. I'm struggling with that too. So those are the type of things that help sell, right? Your identity, because it's part of your story. So don't forget to put that out there as you create content. Your values, your story, your perspective, right? All of those things. What makes you do what you do? Kind of part of that why I want to do this. What do I want to be known for? That's a good question. But these are things that you want to build around, not just throwing the content out there, but remember your purpose, right? The mission, your values, all those type of things. That's what we want to put in 2026. All right. See what the people are saying. Tasha says consistency. Yes. That is definitely going into 2026. I want to be more consistent. More consistent. Love it. And Fanny, of course, that's kind of similar. More presence with everything I do. Yes. Showing up. Being present. Everything I do. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Be present. But building around that identity, not just content. And again, if you're watching on tonight, of course, we are talking about what we're leaving in 2025 and what we're taking into 2026. So if you're watching, don't forget to like. Also, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Maybe you can also tell us where are you watching from. Some of you already know, but if you're watching, maybe you can tell us where you are watching from. All right, let's jump back into our next one. So we got build around content, or build around identity, not just content. Sorry. All right, here's our next one. Create with community in mind. Okay, it's a whole community. Remember, your target audience. Who is the people that you are trying to reach? So we need to build around that community. You know, what do they like? What questions do they need answered? That's what we need to have our conversations centered around. You know, some of the things that we do, some of the videos we create, some of the lives that I'm gonna go ahead and speak lives over some of y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and speak live in 2026 where you doing your own live. I'm gonna go ahead and speak that over you right now. But yes, some of the emails that you send, some of the lives that you do, some of the videos that you put out there, right? It needs to be centered around that community so that you can start to nurture that community and build it and let it grow. So those are things that can help, your content, right? When you start thinking about the purpose and the community that you're serving, or the people in the community that you're serving, right? So just think about that and create your content around that, just trying to grow that community, okay? Fanny says, come on, Brian, and help the people. Yes, I'm trying. I am trying. Let's see. Florence says, that's huge. What do I want to be known for? Yes, ma'am. What do I want to be known for? You know, not just putting out content, but, you know, do I try to help people, right? And people can sense that, you know, the content that you create, they can sense that, you know, you're just not somebody that's out there, you know, maybe trying to just win that sale with them. You know, you are actually trying to serve them. You're actually trying to help them. You're actually trying to answer their questions, right? Of course, I understand and know that everybody's not going to be a fan of your content. Everybody you won't be able to, but at the same time, you know, that's a good question to ponder on. What do I want to be known for? And Florence says clarity. Yes, love that. Yes, ma'am. All right, let's get to the next one. Oh, I took my wrong one away. Come on back here, taking these into, there you go. All right, the next one. Here we go. Lean into long form content. Remember I said earlier, talked about YouTube. If you don't have a YouTube channel, you need to get a YouTube channel, right? YouTube channel. Just another way to help you grow. But long form content, you can repurpose long form content, right? You can take long form content like this video. This video will be considered long form content, but I'll be able to take portions of this content and repurpose it, right? I can make a lot of shorts with it. Now they got a lot of AI applications out there that can take your long form content and it'll make shorts for you. Shorts and reels, it'll automatically make them for you. It'll put credits to it. It'll add text to it, and it'll do the whole nine. Some of them you have to pay for, but that's what you're able to do. You can repurpose the content. Like it'll make this live into multiple shorts. Okay, so you can do that, right? But that's with long form content. So you can do that where you have a 15-minute video and you dwindle it down to, I don't know, 30 different shorts. And just imagine all of those shorts being put out there. You know, you can put one out there, one a day, right? So that's a way to build your content by taking long form content and repurposing it. Okay, repurposing podcasts, interviews, live streams. I'll say this: it is a good thing. I know some of us don't like interviews, but if you can get on somebody else's platform to talk about what you do, that introduces you to a whole new audience. So just imagine you get on somebody else's platform, and somebody on that platform, they love candles. and they hear you talking about your story, and voila, they reaching out. Hey, I saw you on such and such platform. I would love to purchase some of your candles. I'm just saying. So it's not a bad thing to be on somebody else's platform to talk about what it is that you do, right? Like I stated, live stream. This is a live stream, so this would be considered long form content. Okay, long form content. But also, you teaching could be part of that. Giving people guidance, right? Instructing people. All of those things could be part of this long form content and repurposing, right? I talked about the video of my wife where she's just kind of behind the scenes and she's just, it's just a video of her. You just see her hands working and she's putting candles together. So that is a way to repurpose long form content. There are clips, there are quotes, thumbnails, right? Short form hooks. All of this can fit live streams, of course, and all of those type of things. So leaning into long form content. Don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. Okay, because 2026, that's what we're going to do. We're going to embrace it, which goes along with the next one. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. How many times have you heard that? Get comfortable being uncomfortable. What is it that makes you uncomfortable? That's probably something that you need to do. Here's a way to practice doing video. I'm not an expert, right? But here's a way to practice doing video. You can record yourself, right? Think of 1 line, 2 lines to say. Record yourself. Don't post it. Just record yourself. Go back and watch it. I know you may not like it, but go back and watch it and look at maybe how can I tweak it. But practice those 2 lines or 1 line, whatever it is. Practice what it is that you want to say. And go back. You can redo it. And just practice it until you perfect it, until you get comfortable looking at yourself, hearing yourself, because I know that's one of the big things, right? I don't like to hear myself. Yeah, I know. I didn't either, but I'm kind of over that, hearing myself, not liking it. It's just like, my voice, it is what it is. And that's for all of us, right? Your voice is what it is. But record yourself 1 or 2 lines. Practice what you want to say, 1 or 2 lines. You don't have to post it. You can just record it. And then you can go over that as many times as you like. Now, here's another thing you could do. Record yourself, forget about editing, and just post it. I'm saying that because a lot of times we sit and we edit and we just sit and we edit and 30 minutes pass, an hour pass, and nothing is posted. So record it, edit. Don't even worry about editing, just post it. Think about what you want to say, post it. That's a challenge for you. Just put it out there. No matter what it is, just put it out there. But get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. All right. We are wrapping this up. I believe this next one is, I think I got 2 more. Okay, here we go. Focus on solving real problems. Again, that goes with your purpose. That goes with your values. That goes with all of those things, right? Focus on solving real problems. What problems can you solve for somebody? What is it, right? Remember the target audience that we talk about. What is it? What problem can you solve for them? And that's what you got to figure out. What is it that I'm answering for them? So focus on solving real problems, because remember, those are the people that are in need, and that's the people that's going to respond to whatever service products that you have. So that's what you got to figure out, but that's what you focus on. Focus on solving real problems. Fanny says, that's what I do. I think she was talking about the recording and the video. But yes, I do that too, and I'm trying to get over that, right? Trying to get over it. Mr. Roker, it is good to have you in the building, sir. That is Mr. Raphael Roker himself. Appreciate you. Good stuff. Yes, sir. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you. Mr. Raphael Roker. He's a definite, that's the social media extraordinaire. And wrote so many books. Man, he is miles ahead, writing all them books. We salute you, sir. But thank you for being here. Thank you. I appreciate you being part of the audience. All right. We're about to wrap this up. Again, we are talking about what we are leaving behind in 2025 and what we're taking into 2026. If you're watching, if you haven't liked the video, go ahead and like the video. Also, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe to the channel. Okay. We're about to wrap this up. For the last one, there are many different ways. I know I'm not even touching the surface on so many things. There are a lot of things we can take into 2026, and maybe you have something else that you have in mind that you want to take into 2026. You can put it in the chat. Okay. But here's one that I thought about. And I know we want to be consistent. I know we want to be consistent. We want to make sure we're showing up. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We want to make sure we're consistent. We want to make sure we're showing up. I want to make sure that, we're putting our content out there. But I must say that if at any time you feel like that was the wrong screen. If at any time, we're not closing yet. If at any time you feel like you're overwhelmed, you're feeling overwhelmed, or you need to take a break at any time, by all means, take a break. Because trust me, listen, the algorithms, they're going to still be there. Okay. All of your followers, they're going to still be there. Even if, it gets reset, all of that, it's still going to be there. If you need to take a break, because I know it can be overwhelming to try to focus on trying to put content out there, trying to make sure I'm growing, trying to make sure my video looks good, trying to make sure I sound good. All of these things affect us. Not only that, but going and watching other creators and how they just seem like they just putting stuff out every day. It's like every day. It's like, man, he got something else out. I haven't even got a chance to watch the last 10 videos you put out. I'm trying to get back to that last 10 that I saw. And you already still building. So if at any time you feel like you need to take a break, take a break. Don't focus on algorithms and thinking about, oh man, I'm going to lose this. Nah, what's more important is that you are a healthy creator. Okay. That is what's most important, that you are a healthy creator. Okay. Because trust me, also too, not only are you trying to create, but you got life to deal with. Some of us are married. Some of us got kids. Some of us got jobs that we got to go to. So we may have a side hustle that we're doing, and it can be overwhelming. Of course, many of us are in church and we are active in church. So all of these things, right, can pull on you, and it can be overwhelming. So by all means, if at any time you feel like I need to take a break, take a break. And guess what? You ain't even got to announce it. You ain't got to put it out there that, hey, I mean, you can, right? Because I'll say this, especially if, you have maybe like, you got a live stream where I go live every Monday, right? I haven't been going live every Monday. I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to get to that, but I haven't been doing that. But if you have something like that where every Wednesday I show up and I do this, and of course, yeah, you may want to let your followers know that, hey, you know what? I'm gonna be taking a break, all that, right? So, but by all means, that is perfectly okay. Don't worry about the algorithm. Don't worry about who you gonna lose, all that. Nah, that's not that important. What's more important is you. So take as many breaks as you like. That's what I say. So let's see what we got for these final comments here. Rapper says, good to be tuned in. The 24-hour boss. Ending my year strong. Yes, sir. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do it. He says, true. Yes. Florence says, be kind to yourself. Yes, ma'am. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. That's what we want to do. That's right. Take a break. Yes. Amen to all of that. Take a break. Yes, by all means, it is perfectly okay. Okay, and like I said, I know that there could have been many different ways, and there are so much more that we can put into 2026. But I hope some of this information that I shared tonight, I hope that some of this information that I shared tonight was helpful. I want to say I'm thankful for all of you that were able to join, and all of you that participated and put your comments and your information in there, and definitely was made this a great live stream experience with everybody just joining in the community, because that's what we are. And so I want to say thank you all for watching on tonight. And like I said, hope it was helpful, and hope that your 2026 is even greater than 2025. I hope, God's favor will continue to shine on all of you, and that he continues to bring you the clients, right? And to help us to be more consistent. Everything we talked about, we are believing that he's going to help us to do all of those things. So we just pray God's favor for everybody that was able to join tonight, and even those that may do the rewatch. Pray his favor over all of you. So thank you all for watching. And hey, we're going to say we'll see you all on the next one. Have a blessed week.